when it comes to the youth, I'm very proud to see what I'm seeing. I believe that the language of the youth is action, and that's what I'm seeing happen. Right, like right outside of my crib, there was this racist white dude who tried to run over a group of young protesters, Black Lives Matter protesters, teenagers in a pickup truck. This is outside of my crib, bro. I'm looking out of my window like horrified with my wife and my daughter. And it's crazy how like all of this is just happening right in front of our faces. And I don't want to say like we're immune to it, but the frequency of it is just like, is so unacceptable. You know, like how is this still a thing? This pattern has been going on for decades, you know, and the fact that it hasn't been solved just feels like, you know, obviously there's systemic problems that need to be addressed. And it's good that people are using this language. They're using the same set of words. They're getting clarity around what the root of the problem is. And I do believe in defunding the police. I don't think police should be answering every single call and every single alarm, because they're not trained to do it properly. And that's why you see them be so trigger happy, because they feel shook at their core. And straight up, a lot of these dudes are herbs, yo. A lot of these dudes are suckers that got a badge and got a gun and got a new set of confidence. And that's a problem. You know, that's a problem. I also remember, I don't know if this is still the case, but we were working on a project around like the gun ranges for like police training. And it was crazy interesting because we had uncovered that like the silhouette of the gun range was actually all black. And psychologically, what does that do, right? Like you're trained to shoot figures outside of like your personal biases and racism. You're trained to shoot at the range a figure that's black. And there's so many little things like that I think just need psychological reevaluation. And we kind of have to go to the drawing boards. Like I'm interested in leaders from other industries coming in to kind of assess community policing to see what type of influence or optimizations they would offer, because it's clearly a broken system, but they've been able to just like act above the law. And that's something like time's up for that, you know, like defund the police. Like, let's get this thing right. Let's not stop using our voices. Let's protest. You know, the looting stuff is another thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand it. And I don't think everybody should get it or should be in the way of that. But like, when people don't feel heard, they're going to do whatever they need to do to get your attention. There's a boiling point that's been hit. And I get it. You know, I get it. I was looking at the protesters outside of my window. I'm on a work call, you know, and I hear horns honking and people screaming. And I look outside my window, I see like 100 kids, you know, protesting for Black Lives Matter. And yo, brought a tear to my eye, bro. Like, I was so proud to see that these kids are just not going to stand for it, bro. And if they got to huddle up with strangers that they've never met, but who share the same viewpoint, they're going to do that, because that's just what it takes at this stage of what we're going through. So I think that's where I'm at with it. You know, I found myself revisiting a lot of Dead Prez. Again, shout out my man Tim Hotep. He did a great interview with those guys. But back to the power of music, man. Those guys put out an album 20 years ago that it sounds like it was made for today. And that timelessness is what I ultimately aspire for as well. And I always say this, shout out my man Chaucer Barnes. We were just talking about this, like, the streets belong to the people, and the word on the street is expressed however the people feel they should be expressed. So whether that's through peaceful protest, whether that's through aggressive protest, whether that's through graffiti, the point is the word on the street is owned by the people, and the people that live there, not the people who just visit. You know, these are our communities. So whatever we need to say, however we need to say it, is what will be said. So 1,000%. I think like we got to tap into our creativity. I've been seeing a bunch of plywood boards like with beautiful art messages on them, and again, that's just a testament to the people knowing their voice, knowing how to elevate their voice. And it could be a piece of plywood, or it could be, us shattering the windows at Gucci. You're still going to hear it, and at the end of the day, you're still going to feel it. And I think the impact of being felt is what this is all about. So I love seeing all the graph. I love seeing people get up and kind of use this moment to take the streets as a canvas, because these are our streets, and we should be able to communicate on them and with them however we desire. I just encourage the youth to continue to use their voice, and even if you're not, air quote Gen Z or whatever, like we all have a voice. I don't believe in the voiceless. I don't believe that. Everybody has a voice. It's about tapping in, finding your voice, and elevating your voice, and finding people who could amplify that voice, who share that voice. So for me, it's I think if I could leave people with anything, it's just like tap into yourself. That's what Soul Control is about. It's a journey about being clear with who you are, being confident in your own skin, in your own shoes, and living that through and through. There's a level of consistency as men, the way we carry ourselves out, the way we shake hands with people, the way we make eye contact, the way we have conviction, the way we stand up for things that we believe in, that I think is important to spill into the music, because music has become so disposable as well, where it's like everybody could do this. There is no barrier to entry the way there was before. The air quote gatekeepers have been toppled. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody could get up anywhere. So for me, it's like the cream will always rise to the top. And I believe that's what this project is. And the fact that we're even having this conversation, and I'm in New York and you guys in Chicago, and we're talking about Reggie in LA, this is an example of the cream rising to the top, because this needs to be heard. This isn't, disposable music. This is timeless. This has the replay value and is built to stand the test of time. So for me as an artist, I would just want to leave people with that. Tap into your vision. Be comfortable and confident with who you are. Even if you feel like you're alone, there's other people who probably share your story, and you having the gift to articulate it is what's going to connect with them. So that's that, man.